Yo, what's up, guys? Leafs put on an absolute clinic tonight, beating the Philadelphia Flyers 7-2. Now, guys, what a great performance by the Leafs tonight, and I think we all knew that it was needed, of course, obviously, after that complete shit show that happened Saturday night against the Nashville Predators, of course, and the Maple Leafs really responded well in this game tonight, guys, especially after the Leafs gave up the first goal of the hockey game, of course, off a non-icing call. Of course, players looked a little bit complacent thinking it was an icing call. Tavares turned the puck over, of course, and then obviously Philly score off the turnover. It was a great goal, don't get me wrong. Top shelf on Stolarz there, though, but I think he should save it. But he did snipe it, Ryan Poling, with the goal there. So, really nice goal by the Flyers, but I really liked how the Leafs responded, which was something they did tonight, unlike Saturday night, of course. They actually responded, of course. And once again, John Tavares, Bobby McMann, William Nylander, driving the game tonight, of course. What a game that line had again tonight, guys. Spectacular performance by that line. Outdoing themselves from what they did in New York a few nights ago, of course, a few games ago, where they had 7 points. Tonight, they had 10 points combined, guys. What a job by this lineup tonight, guys. Willie had 2 goals, 2 assists. John Tavares, 2 goals, 2 assists. McMann, a goal and an assist. First goal of the game was a beautiful goal. McMann pressing the boards there. Willie gets the puck. Great pass to John Tavares to score there to tie the game up 1-1. Really beautiful goal. And then after, William Nylander tries to pass it again to John Tavares for the second goal of the game. But William Nylander, who deflected it off a Flyers player there to get the second goal of the game. Both goals, the first 2 goals of the game, were off deflections, of course. So Leafs doing a really good job putting the puck in front of the net there, getting 2 goals there. Really solid job by the Maple Leafs. And then, obviously, that second line continued with their great play in the second period, of course. William Nylander again with another spectacular pass to Bobby McMann. Great goal by Bobby McMann. 20 goals, guys, for Bobby McMann this year. Really underrated player for this team. Really valuable asset for this team going into the playoffs. We clearly missed this guy last year in the playoffs, guys. If you guys recall, remember, at MCL, spraying Bobby McMann out this year. We didn't have him for the playoffs. He's going to be a real key piece for the team this year, guys. 32 points on the year, career high, of course, for Bobby McMann. Continuing his tremendous season for this team, of course, really looking good on that second line left wing wall with Willie and John Tavares, guys. So that line there continued their great play. Obviously we saw Tavares get another goal. That was probably my favorite goal of the night, guys, with Matthew Nice dumping the puck in deep, they're putting it around the side there, the boards, to Marner, and then Marner with a great pass to John Tavares wide alone in front there. That was probably my favorite goal of the game. And then Willie with another great shot. Harrison's screened in front of the net there, making it 5-1. It was just an absolute clinic, guys. We saw David Kampf get a breakaway goal after he was scratched for 3 games last week. Domi with a great play, great skating, great hustle there by Domi to get a goal there, guys. It was beautiful by the Leafs, guys. Obviously, they had that little blemish where the Flyers scored a second goal. But the Leafs end up cruising, guys, in that third period. 4 goals in the second period, guys. The Leafs have over 90 goals in the second period, the second best in the league, guys. So the Leafs continue their great play in the second period. Really good job in the third period to cruise on to get the win, guys. They almost had another goal, of course. Morgan Riley had another opportunity there, but goaltender interference, absolutely ridiculous call, if you ask me. Marner got shoved into the goalie, Harrison, there, and they called it goalie interference. Absolutely ridiculous, if you ask me, but it didn't really matter. Of course, Leafs go on to cruise on to this win 7-2, guys. And like I said before, what a job by that second line, guys. Spectacular job by them. They have 18 points in their last 3 games, guys. Just incredible job by that second line. You know for a fact that line's going to be intact going into the playoffs. Marner, Matthew Nice had a quiet game, but they played well. The whole team played well. Of course, Domi, I thought I really liked his game there with that goal there. Really good hustle. Other than that, though, guys, it wasn't a very entertaining game. Of course, it was a massive blow-up by the Leafs. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about Scott Laughton, not getting a point tonight again. Guys, I think we got to calm down a little bit in regards to Scott Laughton. Of course, the guy's been on one team for 12 years, coming to his hometown team. It's a big change for a guy like him. It's only been 2 weeks. I understand where people are a bit frustrated. They want immediate impact. They want a guy to score immediately, have an impact on the team. I get that. I understand we're impatient here in Toronto at times, so it can get a little frustrating. But I think the kid's going to find his rhythm, get his feet going. I'm not worried about Scott Laughton yet, guys. Listen, guys, we've done this before. The Maple Leafs, they traded a first-round pick. Remember Nick Foligno? That guy there was a disaster for the team. So we got another year at Scott Laughton at $1.5 million, guys. So I understand the impatience going into the playoffs and everything, but listen, we got this guy for another year. I'm sure he's going to start showing the skill that the Leafs traded him for. So listen, guys, just give Scott Laughton some time, give him some patience, of course. And I know for a fact that this guy here is going to be a key player for the Maple Leafs going into the playoffs, guys. But the Leafs did what they had to do tonight, guys. This is what good teams are supposed to do. You're supposed to beat the crappy opponents, guys, the teams that are not in the playoffs, of course. Philadelphia, obviously, they're struggling right now. You know, they've won one game in their last 12. The Leafs have been dominant against them the last 4 years, a record of 11-1 as well. So the Leafs have had the Flyers numbered. The Flyers are struggling, of course. You know, this was a game the Leafs absolutely needed. Obviously, these games are not obvious wins, of course, because look what happened with Nashville on Saturday night. So this game here was a must-win for the Maple Leafs. They got the job done, as expected, of course. Now they got to go to California, guys. You got to play San Jose, get some revenge, of course, on San Jose after they beat you a few weeks ago on home ice. Go over there, get some revenge. You got the LA Kings on Saturday night. That should be a tough game. And then you got Anaheim on the Sunday, guys. So the Leafs should easily come out with 2 out of 3 wins, minimum, on the West Coast road trip again. And this schedule has been absolutely nuts for the Maple Leafs, guys. You know, going on the road, New York and Nashville. Now you're coming home to Philly. Back out on the West Coast, it's an absolute shit show. So the Leafs may show some fatigue at times, which they did show on Saturday against Nashville. Even though that's not an excuse, they should have gotten the 2 points, and they did not deserve it, obviously, of course. But the Leafs got to go out west now, get maximum points as possible, minimum 2 to 3 wins. LA's a playoff team, of course, but the Anaheim-San Jose game, Leafs need to get minimum 4 points in those games, guys. But solid job by the Maple Leafs tonight, guys. Great win for them, dominating Philly from top to bottom. Finally out-shooting a team, which is great to see, of course. But now you got to go out on the West Coast, get the job done, stay close to Florida until that matchup with the Florida Panthers in April, guys. Then we all know that those 2 games against the Panthers are absolutely vital. And Tampa Bay is right behind them, of course, defeating the Penguins. I think it was 4-0 tonight. Or it was even more, I think. I'm not sure. I didn't check the final score. But those 3 teams are right at each other's feet, guys. So things are getting interesting down the stretch, guys. Really looking forward to seeing if the Maple Leafs can finally clinch an Atlantic Division, guys. So let's wait and see what happens, guys. But some winnable games from the Maple Leafs, but they got to go out there and play like a playoff hockey team, of course. You know, obviously, Craig Berube, he's going to make sure that this team is ready to go because obviously we heard what happened yesterday. Stopping practice, of course, getting mad at the players, being complacent. Absolutely justified after that shit performance against Nashville. And the team responded tonight with a great win against Philadelphia. But they cannot stop, and they need to continue to play consistently, guys. And obviously get into the playoffs with a winning record. And obviously, hopefully, getting into the playoffs with the Atlantic Division title, guys. But guys, that's it for this video today, guys. That's it for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go, guys. And remember, if you did not watch sports, you're more. Ciao, guys.